I had only started working 2 days before. It wasn't an easy job, but I was grateful to have found it. I had spent a long time looking for a job, and now that I had finally found one, I wanted to do my best. The sky was dark that morning, and the cold wind bit at my skin. Heavy rain was drenching the streets, making them slippery. Holding my small umbrella tightly, I walked quickly so as not to be late. Halfway along the path, something caught my eye and made me stop. An elderly woman stood there, motionless in the rain, shivering from the cold. Her clothes were completely wet, her feet bare and without any protection from the weather. No coat, no umbrella, no shelter. The look in her eyes filled me with compassion. I walked over and held the umbrella over her head. "Mommy, take this. You might get sick," I said, offering her the umbrella. "You need to go home." The woman looked at me with tired eyes and shook her head. "My child, I have nowhere to go. I came from the countryside and I don't know anyone here." My heart sank. I took out the little money I had in my pocket. It wasn't much, but it was all I had for that day. "Take it, Mommy. Use it to find a safe place." She hesitated, then smiled kindly. "I can't accept what you need for yourself, child." I thought for a moment and made a decision. "Come with me. I'm going to work. You can stay with me until I find a way." The woman's eyes filled with tears. "May the gods bless you, my child." I held her hand and we walked together under the umbrella. As soon as I got to the office, I found a little corner where she could sit and tried to help her dry off as best I could. "Don't worry, Mommy. In a few hours I will have a break and I will be able to take you to a safe place before returning to work." The lady smiled and nodded. She watched me as I worked, perhaps surprised that someone with so little had offered so much. Later, I took advantage of my break to buy us both some food. My money was limited, but that didn't matter, she needed to eat. While I was gone, Emily walked into the office. Her high heels clicked on the floor, announcing her presence before anyone even saw her. She liked to show up unannounced, always making it clear that she would soon be the wife of the CEO, Austin. As she entered, her eyes fell on the lady sitting in the corner, silent and humble. Emily's face contorted in disgust. "Who brought that filthy beggar here?" she asked loudly enough for everyone to hear. The lady looked up in surprise. "My child, please don't be angry. I'm leaving now," she said softly. Emily huffed, crossing her arms. "That's better. This is my future husband's office, and people like you don't belong here. Now get out." The woman sighed and shook her head. "You have a bitter heart, my daughter. I hope the man who will marry you knows what he's getting into." Emily's face turned red with fury. "Shut up and get lost. You have no right to talk about me." Without arguing, the lady slowly got up and walked to the door. Her steps were slow, her hands trembling. She didn't complain, didn't fight back. She just left, holding back the tears that threatened to fall. When I came back, full of enthusiasm to share the meal with her, I saw the scene that made me stop. Mom was outside, by the gate, with a sad and defeated look on her face. I ran to her, feeling a tightness in my chest. "What happened? Why are you out here?" The old woman sighed. "Don't be mad, my dear. A young lady came in and told me to leave. She said I was dirty and poor and that I shouldn't be here." My fists clenched. "Who did this?" I asked, anger burning inside me. Mom hesitated before answering. "She said she's the boss's fiancé. Emily." My blood boiled. Without thinking twice, I walked determinedly into the office. Emily was still there, sitting comfortably, examining her nails as if nothing had happened. I walked straight to her. "Emily," I called, my voice firm. She looked up lazily and smiled mockingly. "Ah, the poor little employee is back. What do you want?" My anger boiled over. "How dare you treat my mother this way? Who gave you the right to humiliate a defenseless lady?" Emily rolled her eyes and let out a sarcastic laugh. "Your mother. That homeless woman. Please, I warned Austin not to hire you, but he didn't listen to me. And now here you are, defying me. I took a deep breath, trying to contain my anger, but it was impossible. You don't even know if he's really going to marry you. Look at you. Arrogant, cruel, full of yourself. Emily stood still for a moment before standing up abruptly. What did you say? She hissed. I stepped closer. You heard me. My heart raced in my chest. I had come all this way only to be treated with such disrespect. My hands trembled as I pulled out my phone and dialed my son's number. The moment he answered, I wasted no time. My voice was firm, but the hurt was clear in it. Come home now. I'm at your gate, and I've never felt so insulted in my life. His voice on the other end was calm yet urgent. Mama, calm down. I'm on my way. I inhaled deeply, though the pain still lingered in my heart. Minutes later, Austin's car screeched to a halt in front of his house. He rushed out, his heart pounding. He had come as soon as I called. When he saw me standing there in my old village clothes, his face showed shock. My son, the one I had given everything for, stood at the gate, staring at me in disbelief. I was exhausted, frustrated, and my clothes were dirty. He rushed over, concern etched on his face. Mama, what's going on? Why are you out here dressed like this? I sighed deeply, placing a hand gently on his shoulder, my eyes filled with disappointment. I came to your company today. I disguised myself because I wanted to see for myself if your fiancé was really as wonderful as you say. Unfortunately, she failed miserably. Austin's expression darkened. His anger was clear. What happened, Mama? What do you mean? I paused, gathering my thoughts. I was sitting quietly in your office when a kind girl named Sandra helped me. She gave me her umbrella, took me to work with her, and treated me with kindness. But when Emily saw me, she insulted me. She threw me out of your office like I was nothing. She told me to leave and never come back. It's okay, Mama. Let's go inside and talk about everything later. He took my hand and led me inside. The mansion, though grand and luxurious, felt cold and empty in that moment. He guided me to my room and helped me settle. Mama, take a bath, eat and relax. You must be exhausted. I nodded slowly, walking into the room, feeling completely drained. Meanwhile, Austin sat in the living room, his mind racing with anger and disappointment. He couldn't believe what I had told him. The woman he had planned to marry had disrespected the one person who meant everything to him. His hands clenched into fists as he tried to contain his fury. The door swung open, and Emily entered with a bright smile, acting as though nothing had happened. She walked confidently toward him, her heels clicking on the marble floor. Honey, did you see that dirty old woman outside? She claimed to be your mother. The guards almost let her in. Can you believe it? Some people don't know their place. Austin slowly lifted his gaze, his eyes darkening, his body stiffening. The room seemed to grow colder. Emily continued, flipping her hair and adjusting her dress as if nothing was wrong. I think she was one of those desperate villagers looking for handouts. You should tell your security to stop letting these people hang around the gate. This is a high-class neighborhood, not a place for beggars. She is my mother. Emily froze. Her smile vanished, and she stepped back, blinking in shock. Her face drained of color. Austin stood up slowly, his movements deliberate, his eyes locked on Emily with utter disappointment. Don't ever speak of my mother like that. Emily tried to laugh nervously, waving her hand. Oh, baby, I was just joking. I didn't know she was your mother. Austin's gaze darkened further. I don't care if you knew or not. The fact that you insulted an elderly woman, threw her out like she was nothing, and treated her with such disrespect shows exactly who you are. Emily panicked, reaching for his hand, but he pulled away. Austin, please. I swear, if I'd known she was your mother, I would never have done that. Austin shook his head, his voice cold. This woman made me who I am today. We were once poor, Emily. We had nothing. But with God, my mother, and hard work, I became who I am. And now, you think you can come into my life and disrespect the one person who sacrificed everything for me. Emily's hands trembled. She had never seen him like this before. Austin took a deep breath, trying to calm himself. But his next words hit her like a hammer. I also hate that you lied about Sandra and made me fire her. She did nothing wrong. But because of your selfishness and cruelty, I lost a good employee. That was the breaking point. Emily's eyes widened in shock. No, Austin, please. I love you. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I was just trying to protect our relationship. Please don't do this. Austin's expression remained unchanged. His voice was cold and final. Pack your things. Don't come back to my house again. We're done. Emily's jaw dropped. She was shaking with rage and disbelief. No, Austin, you can't do this. After everything we've been through, you can't just throw me away like this. Austin turned his back on her, his silence the final answer. Emily screamed in frustration, grabbed her bag, and stormed toward the door. But before leaving, she turned to shout her last words. You're just a foolish mommy's boy. You'll never find a better woman than me. Austin didn't flinch. He didn't respond. He simply watched her leave, the door slamming behind her. Austin exhaled deeply, feeling a strange sense of relief, but also a deep sense of regret. He had trusted the wrong person. He sank back into his chair, still processing everything. The house was quiet now. Emily was gone, and the atmosphere felt lighter without her presence. He rubbed his forehead, still carrying the weight of his decision to fire Sandra because of a lie. But now, something else occupied his thoughts. I stepped out of my room, refreshed and calm after my bath. I sat beside him, my eyes full of warmth and understanding. I had been silent since Emily left, but now I was ready to speak. My son, I hope you now understand that I was right. Emily was never the right woman for you, I said softly. Austin nodded, his voice heavy with realization. You were right, Mama. I was blinded by love. But love without respect is nothing. A woman who disrespects my mother can never be my wife. I smiled gently. There's something you need to know, my son. I frowned. I don't know how to explain it. He apologized for everything that happened before, which is fine, but then, out of nowhere, he started acting strange, telling me I looked beautiful and asking if I wanted to go out with him. It was so unprofessional. I told him straight up that if that was why he re-employed me, then I was done. Austin smiled slightly, though I couldn't see him. He admired how firm I was. What did he say after that? Austin asked. I sighed. Again, he apologized and said it wasn't like that, but still, I don't trust him. I feel like he has an agenda. I don't want to deal with workplace drama, Austin. I think I should just leave before things get worse. Austin's voice became serious. Babe, no. Don't. Stop. You need that job, okay? Don't let anything distract you. Just focus on your work. If he tries anything funny again, stand your ground, but don't quit because of him. He hesitated. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure, Austin nodded on his end of the call. You are strong, Sandra. You worked hard to get this opportunity. Don't let one uncomfortable moment push you away. Just do your job and don't pay attention to him. I sighed. All right if you say so. I just don't want any trouble. Austin chuckled. You won't have any trouble. Trust me. I yawned. I'm really tired. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, babe. Sleep well, Austin said, smiling to himself as I ended the call. I still felt unsure, but Austin's words had reassured me. On the other side of the call, Austin smirked as he placed his phone down. A few weeks later, I arrived at work feeling refreshed. I had decided to take Austin's advice and focus on my job. I wouldn't let my boss's strange behavior distract me. As soon as I walked into the office, my boss called me into his office. I walked in and stood before his desk, waiting for him to speak. He leaned back in his chair and smiled. "Sandra, as my personal assistant, your position comes with some benefits. First, you will be assigned a car. Second, you will be given a well-furnished apartment close to the office." My eyes widened in shock. I was speechless for a moment before excitement took over. "Sir, are you serious?" He chuckled. "Yes, Sandra. This is part of your job. You deserve it." I couldn't stop smiling. This was more than I had ever expected. "Wow, sir. This is amazing, but..." I paused, narrowing my eyes slightly. "I hope this is not what I think it is." The man raised his hands. "No, far from that. This is strictly work-related. But, Sandra, I still like you. You are beautiful and I admire you." My smile disappeared. I took a deep breath and shook my head. "Here you go again, sir. Please stop. I am getting married soon. I am in love with someone else. Please stay away from me. Let's keep this professional." He sighed, nodding slowly. "All right, Sandra. I respect your decision. Let's keep things professional." I gave him a small nod, then turned and walked out of his office. As soon as I got to my own office, I pulled out my phone and called Austin. He picked up almost immediately. "Babe, you won't believe what just happened," I said excitedly. Austin smiled, pretending not to know. "Tell me what happened." "My boss just gave me a car and a well-furnished apartment. Can you imagine? Just like that." Austin chuckled. "Wow, that's great news, babe. You see, I told you not to quit. Look at how things are working out for you." I laughed. "Yes, you were right. And because of that, I'm taking you to a fancy restaurant this weekend. I'm going to spoil you, my love." Austin's smile widened. "Babe, do you have money for that?" I rolled my eyes playfully. "Don't worry, okay? I'll handle it. I insist." Austin hesitated for a moment before sighing. "Fine. See you this weekend." I giggled. "Good. Start getting ready to be spoiled." As we ended the call, Austin leaned back in his chair, shaking his head in amusement. The day finally came, and I was excited as I got ready for my date with Austin. I wore a simple but beautiful blue dress and comfortable heels. I wanted to look nice but not too extravagant. Austin arrived at my house, and together, we took a taxi to the restaurant. We talked and laughed on the way, enjoying each other's company. I was happy. I had never met a man as easygoing and kind as Austin. When we arrived at the restaurant, a waiter welcomed us warmly and led us to a cozy table near the window. The place was elegant but not too intimidating. I had chosen it carefully, wanting something nice but not too expensive since I was paying. We looked at the menu and ordered our meals. I felt proud. It was my first time taking a man out, and I wanted to make sure everything went smoothly. The food arrived, and we ate while chatting. I told Austin about my day at work, and he listened with a smile. I loved how attentive he was. When we finished eating, I reached into my purse to get money for the bill. I signaled for the waiter, who walked over with a polite smile. I handed him the money, but he gently shook his head. Your bill has already been covered." I frowned, slightly surprised. "What do you mean?" The waiter only smiled. "Everything you ate today has been paid for." I looked at Austin in confusion. "Did you do this?" Austin raised his hands. "Babe, I'm a struggling man. How could I afford this?" I sighed, looking around the restaurant. This is strange. Maybe there's some promotion or something. Austin only smiled and took a sip of his drink. We sat in silence for a few seconds before Austin suddenly placed his fork down and looked at me seriously. "Sandra, I have something important to ask you," he said. I looked up, curious. "What is it?" Austin took a deep breath. His heart was pounding, but his face remained calm. "Sandra, will you marry me?" I froze. My heart skipped a beat. I stared at Austin, not sure if I had heard correctly. Austin held my hands gently. "I know this might seem sudden, but I have never met a woman like you before. You are kind, selfless, and full of life. From the first day I met you, I knew you were special. I want to spend my life with you." Tears welled up in my eyes, but they were happy tears. My heart was full. "Yes, Austin. Yes, I will marry you." Austin smiled and squeezed my hands. "You just made me the happiest man in the world." I laughed softly, wiping my tears. "I can't wait to tell Mama. She will be so happy." Austin chuckled. "She will say, 'I told you, my son is perfect for you.'" I groaned playfully. "Exactly. Mama won't let me rest." We both laughed. A few days after the proposal, Mama called me and invited me over for the weekend. She sounded excited, almost too excited, but I didn't think much of it. When I arrived, I was shocked to discover that Mama lived in a mansion. That was when I learned the truth. Austin was never poor. He was the real CEO of the company I worked for. He had only tested me to see if I loved him for who he was, not for his money. I was angry at first, but in the end, I forgave him. A few months later, Austin and I had a beautiful wedding, and we lived happily ever after. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates. Thanks for watching, and stay blessed.